Boys, we made it. We made it to the podcast show, Shadow Scripts. This is our first official guest, I guess, interview. But we got Chad Aune and Turner Aune Brothers, obviously, younger, older. Little background on some of you guys. This is SFA tight end for a couple of years. They're up in the Dallas area. Now he's my cookie. So you got Turner here, a little Angelo State action, a little athlete in college, a little bit.
I'm looking ready.
But dude, I'm excited. I'm glad you guys are here. But dude, it's crazy to me that we have come from like Fortnite Xbox parties or Call of Duty 2019 to like now we're sitting here on a podcast together.
Dude, we have legit come a long way. Literally, I had a buddy at Sam Houston who was like, hey, I have a buddy named Ryan, which is Rival Brother, the analyst. And he was like, hey, do you mind if we play together? I'm like, yeah, sure. Got along with him like almost off the rip. We really talked, I don't even know, we talked the most random stuff like boots, jeans, country music, football. We talked about everything. We just had everything like lined up perfectly. And obviously Call of Duty 2019 coming into play. And they were like, hey, or Ryan was like, hey, I have two of my other brothers that have the same game. You mind? They join too. I'm like, yeah. And then COVID hit. And for some reason, I don't know why. Don't look at me like that. we literally played every single day in COVID. Yeah, every single day. And we did not blink an eye. We just flowed. It just happened all naturally.
I know. It's crazy. And you and my brother were doing like a ton of Red Dead.
Oh my gosh.
During that time.
I was sitting in my dorm room and we were like, I think it was like 9:30 p.m. and he texted me, you want to hop on and do some bags? And I'm like, sure. Dude, we're on till like 4:30 in the morning. And I have to go to the weights the next day.
Dude, I mean, there's nothing better than that. And that was the golden age, like you were saying, just like stay up late, 2, 3 a.m., got nothing going on the next day. Now we got a 401k.
I'm on Irene, that's not a beautiful white blonde hair, got two kids, got one T-ball next morning. One sucked at T-ball, one's actually pretty decent, so I'm excited about him, but the other son, I'm just like, dude.
One's trying my ass off to just refrain from,
just make sure you're not gay, or we're fine.
Sign him up for sports!
What's 18 more years?
Just make another kid.
That's a good little topic starter. We, back-to-back quotes dropped there, little Incredibles and Invincible. What are y'all's top 3 TV shows of all time? It's probably the easiest way to do it.
Oh my god.
We got Breaking Bad, you've got Game of Thrones. I mean, you got all of them, but I'll start with you, bro.
Of course. I haven't yet to see Game of Thrones. I hear so many good things about it.
Go watch it right now.
Right, sorry. Off the top of my head, one of the shows that I really, really enjoy and can't wait for them to come out of the season with is Turner List.
Yeah.
That series is fantastic with Chris Pratt, with the lead role. I didn't really just read the books. Yeah, I hear those are phenomenal. They're making a spin on, but I think sometime later this year. But one's a really one I'm excited for. Really like Reacher, really like Jack Ryan. Kind of like the military vibes of shows. Like there's one that I watched with my lady called The Night Agent on Netflix.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons. I think it's pretty good. And so I would say if I would put it on a list, Turner List, what was the other one?
Yeah, Turner List, Night Agent or no?
Night Agent 3, and then Jack Ryan 2.
Okay, yeah. Jack Ryan's good. I like John Krasinski in that. I think he does a phenomenal. He's come a long way since The Office.
So for sure, he's looking like actually booty,
yeah.
Like actual Benedict.
Looking like a Stone Age peasant.
Swear Gucci. Yeah.
His head.
Dude, it was funny because with those the Terminal List, I had a buddy that was like reading the books like in high school. I'm like, this is a guy that doesn't read books. I mean, he wanted to read pages of books, but and we would like play with people. That popcorn game when you're growing up.
Oh, for sure.
He's like, all right, pick the next person that's gonna read or whatever, and we would always pick each other because we
You
had
stare at your best friend.
exactly. Well, we would pick each other because we had like nerds in our class that would like love to read and they wanted it, and so they would get pissed off when we were like didn't pick them. They was like one guy kid started like grunting. He was like, eh. Then finally the teacher caught on, hey, you guys gotta share it with the room. You can't just go back to one another. And we would read super slow, like it's like the frog was, and then we like falsely correct somebody, and we'd be like, yeah, that means better. That's better. That's the word better. And he'd be like, oh, thank you. But anyway, yeah, he would read Terminal List, and he put me on. He was like, dude, you gotta start looking into this. And then I saw Jack Carr, the guy, I guess the creator of the books, hop on podcasts with Joe Rogan, and then the whole series came to play on Amazon Prime. And I was like, damn. It was good. That first episode got me hooked. With those friends.
100%. 100% agree with that.
Your list. So what do you got? For number 3, starting up hot. Come on. Hey.
Number 3, dude, I don't know.
Well, you like Breaking Bad. I know that.
Breaking Bad is definitely number 2.
Oh.
Definitely number 2.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we got Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad 2. Honestly, me and Hannah have been watching. We haven't finished this 2 seasons. It's a new. I'm honestly The Recruit.
Oh yeah.
That is a great show.
Yeah.
Definitely keeps you on your heels like every episode. And then like Hannah's and Hannah's always following me like, "We watch an episode." We were doing like that party stuff like on our computer, so like share screen we watch at the same time. And then number 1's The Walking Dead. That will forever be. From what sucks is like I haven't even finished the series. I got to when Rick dies. And I just
Spoilers, what god?
What the hell? Well, there's a bunch of other spin-offs. There's like 20 seasons of it. I always wanted to watch Supernatural. But.
Oh yeah.
So what you got? Number 3,
The Recruit.
The Recruit. Then you got Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, and then The Walking Dead. I guess because season 1 through, like, when I was like, well, it's like, I gotta watch this whole series again. Like, I gotta do it. And I start from like 1 to 4, and I'm just like, it's the best first 4 seasons I've ever watched. This is amazing. And then like after that, it just went straight downhill.
Was he like the vibe with the eerie?
Yeah, it was more like. I mean, I get the whole like wars against like other humans, like bad, like Negan and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like Negan.
We don't like him. And but like, it kind of took away. This is my opinion. I mean, people are definitely gonna disagree, but like, it took away the purpose of the zombie apocalypse.
Right. Yeah.
In my
What's the
opinion.
greatest threat?
Yeah.
Is it other? Maybe that's the irony of it. The other humans are a bigger threat than what's right in front of you. The zombies.
But we just all need to die.
Robert Kirkman did an awesome job though. That and it's cool.
What do you guys think about, like, if you were in a zombie apocalypse like The Walking Dead? Like, would you just off yourself immediately?
I got a chance. I was about to ask what kind of zombies. If it's World War Z, I'm jumping off back an hour.
Oh, dude, that's a great question to ask. What universe of zombies would you rather have?
Walking Dead.
Deal with?
Yeah,
I would say Walking Dead too.
Walking Dead easily because they're just walking.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's mutants now.
What?
Yeah, like the Daryl Dixon's one.
Hey.
There's mutants, and like one of them is like, Call of Duty Zombies, World War II.
Yeah.
Remember the boss that comes out from like the river, and he like goes like when you beat it, he like gets sucked into like that balloon or whatever.
Oh,
That
yeah.
giant. Yeah, they got one like that in Walking Dead.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they have mutant medicine now that you can shoot them with.
It's like The Last of Us is an interesting species of zombie. You know, those
Okay, but like that one's different because from my understanding of the game, if you go into like certain areas and breathe in like the virus actually is in the air.
Yeah.
If you breathe it in, you turn. Correct.
I believe so. You
So,
can get
like-
hit with the gas and like the toxins.
So I'm marking that off.
Walking around with the N95 mask.
Yeah, literally. I can't even breathe out of that.
Now she would be happy.
What's that?
It's like, we had no mask. It's like, no, there's zombies everywhere.
The first honest thing he said.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's that one game, Days Gone? Y'all seen that?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know his name, but he was the voice actor for Darth Maul and
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking
Clone
about.
Wars.
Yeah.
And then he was also Star Killer.
Yeah.
Star Killer. I think that's the same voice actor.
Okay, but I think that is based on like parkour, like the people are staying on rooftops because of all the activity at the bottom, and they can't go out at night because that's when like most extreme of the zombies come out.
Was this Dying
That
Night?
sounds like
That might be what it is, actually.
I think you're thinking of
I think I
Dying
am.
Night. Yeah. The only reason I think that is because because I watched YouTube videos on it when we were younger, and it was like,
You had a huge spiel with zombies when you were younger.
oh, yeah,
it's fascinating.
I still love it. I mean, it's not physically possible, it's been proven, but
I mean, what's the plan though? Like, you know, we all prefer Walking Dead for like an apocalypse, but if we had World War Z or, yeah, I guess we'll ship World War Z or like I Am Legend, like, what's the plan then? Like, are we just
I'm
going
gonna go see God today.
So I think The Last of Us has a good take on where the safe spots are. They go to Jackson, Wyoming,
Mhm.
essentially, because that's where his brother is and whatnot. And so it's cold up there, and it's in the mountains, and it's very out of the way of like, I don't know, the city, and where everything would be all like a mess. So if it were me, I mean, like most Texans, I guess, we'd be like, let's go to our deer lease or whatever. Let's get out in the middle of nowhere, find our own resources. And you know, it's funny because I had somebody ask me like about like why we hunt and whatever. I'm like, dog, if all shit goes wrong, we gotta hunt.
Yeah.
We gotta eat, girl.
At least,
We gotta eat now.
at least you ever
So now I want to bring this question up. So they're saying how like if like all power went out in like the whole world, like it was never able to go back on. They were saying like 80% of the world population wouldn't survive. Do you think that y'all would survive? Like, do you think?
But do you think we could do the 20% that?
Yeah. Do you think that we could be the 20%? I
I
don't. I think this is just a confidence thing in me. I think I could. Just because I know how to hunt, I know how to like. It sounds stupid, but I've watched like what's that Outdoor Boys?
Yeah.
Outdoor Boys. I watched him a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
I watched him filter water.
Man dry. Man fucking dry.
I watched him filter water, so I feel like I got like a general idea on how that goes.
Yeah.
And then, or you just boil it. I mean, and it'll do it. And then,
Okay, we lost power to water.
you ever heard of a campfire?
Oh, yeah. I'm dead. I'm totally dead.
Clearly, I'm not
Now, the only thing that'll suck is wintertime.
That is very, very
Just because
It's cold.
is it?
It's more like probably with the crops. It's more of just like if you plan on making crops, there's gonna be a season to where you're not hand picking whatever you're picking up, and so you're gonna have to literally hunt to survive. Now you probably have rations like you're at a Nazi camp, but
Exactly. Well, you know, another thing too is you probably need to be in like the tropical hemisphere, so it's kind of like warm all year long. I would assume.
I mean that's true. I don't know, but like that'd be hard to do, right? Everybody loves to have that same idea.
I watched The Martian. Look, if he can survive on fucking Mars with nothing, then
But poop in a bag.
well, I mean, he was
I'm not eating my crap.
a botanist could probably survive pretty much anything on his own. So if we know any botanists, we just need to kidnap him and take him with us. That way, we can cultivate some plants and every bird, every rabbit. So you can have a tofu salad. Fuck you. But no, yeah. So I think it'd be interesting to like be in a scenario where you have to survive, and it gives us a reason to use guns. Like if you want all the stuff that we buy, like I think I take away from one of my favorite scenes in the movie The Patriot, where his son, like if y'all seen it, like Mel Gibson's American Revolution or whatever, his son was shot, and he used to play with like these little metal dolls, or not dolls, like little figurines, and line them up or whatever. He would melt them over the fire and make them craft bullets out of it. So I've always like had that fantasy of like crafting my own bullets, trying to survive or whatever. That's what I used to, defend myself. Like that would be sick, badass. Like
With a musket.
yeah. Wait, it's silly like
You sit right there. You're like 15,000 years to reload this.
Dumb way to fight. Think about it.
Stand there and let me like shoot you right in the chest.
Right.
And talk about what's crazy. Talk about honor. Talk about people that like can miss from the guy sitting.
You know how hard it is to shoot a musket with no iron sight?
But like I feel like I'm from here and it's about 20 feet out. I think I can hit him.
I don't think they're 20 feet.
At least in the leg.
I think if you're 20 feet, I'm running at you with a bayonet. And then I'm like,
Just some British guy with some screwed up teeth just standing like 30 feet from you, just
You're just looking
off his musket. And you're like, I just gotta take this.
I'm gonna die to this moron.
I'm about to die to this child.
yeah, it really makes you
Why?
Yeah. It really makes you think, like, is that like how it was? Like, they just stand there? Like in the middle of a field.
I think, but like,
stand there.
What war were they were just like, you know what? I think I should stand here.
Yeah. What war did they decide? I'm gonna hide behind trees.
It's like traitors. He's over on the other side. He's like, hey, Roger. Yeah. They're both just like reloading across from each other, just talking like neighbors.
It's like the Christmas Day on World War I.
Dude, I had a professor that like cried telling that story, like when they met in the middle.
Dude, that
yes,
you see that like commercial or whatever it was, like a short movie of it. Dude, it's like it's kind of a big twist. So it's like
wasn't it like so? It was like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Christmas Day,
And they met in the middle.
Yeah, literally, there's packed that they were just like, hey, like, what? Because they didn't want to do that there. But it was just literally their military leaders and their world leaders saying, like, hey, like, we don't like each other, you need to go fight them. And they were just like, hey, it's Christmas. Like, there's no reason to hate each other.
Yeah, I think I've always said like war and stuff like that is pretty much a scam. We were talking about it off the record, like how Vietnam was so much different. I mean, of course, we weren't there, but so much different because when you surrendered in World War II, World War One, it was nobody wanted to be there. We were drafted in this war. We're gonna take you as a prisoner, but you're probably gonna survive unless you're, I guess, a Japanese one, like the movie Unbroken. People get tortured, but there was kind of like a respect to it because you didn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Vietnam, it was like you're dead, like prisoner of war. Screw that. Like you invaded us, like it was just senseless, But I never thought it'd be a hippie, but now he signs up. But all right, well, I think we should get into just football.
Okay.
You guys ready to go?
I'm sitting
All right, in the show. All right, yeah. Specifically, college football. Of course, we talk ball all the time. We got a group chat called College Game Day. A lot of stuff happening. I covered a little bit of the transfer portal, and I know that there's been a lot of movement there. So I guess to broaden it up, what do you guys think about like the NIL? Like, yeah, because you kind of experienced a little bit of it, right?
Sorta, like I got to see.
It's on NDA, did you?
No. like as I mean, I know FCS and FBS are totally different funds. Everything like how much money we make, how much money like Sam Houston probably makes a buttload more money out their FBS, and they can do all sorts of stuff with NIL. Like at the beginning, it was like I was reached out by a company for NIL, but I had to go through a whole process of like the school has to know what kind of money I'm making. That the athletic department had to know They had to know so much crap. We had to go through so much paperwork that like I was like, I don't even want to do this.
Yeah.
And now it's just like the next year, the day I get done, or the year I get done, they're like, yeah, screw the whole paperwork. I can just sign with whoever.
Whoa.
And so that, at least that's the knowledge I got because I had to go through a bunch of stuff, and then like now I see, you know, like if Tua was in college, he could or Quinn Ewers
Yeah.
signed with a jet company in 2 days. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Like, who are these people that are like, well, I want you to represent my brand or whatever? But I think that's interesting. Like, it almost sounded like at first there were some regulations.
Yeah,
And then it just went.
it was like there was a whole bunch of stuff that, but I don't know if it was like that at the FBS level.
True.
So it was. I just remember like we had compliance meetings all the time,
Right.
and so they were always telling us like, yeah, you got to go through. I forget what the thing is. It's like no cap or something like that, or one cap, something like that. We had to go through that and do a ton of information that they needed. How much money we're making, what kind of commission is coming from this discount.
Yeah. Like
All,
odds.
yes.
Yeah.
And so like, there was so much that like I was like the freaking brand and one that reached out to me was like somewhere in California, and so I had to figure out like how it was going to work with them, with me, with in the athletic department. There was a crap ton of stuff that I had to go through.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was just again. I don't know.
I bet it was probably more strict than FBS. I mean, because I think the money's probably more grand, I guess, because you're, I mean, I guess more televised in certain areas. So, I mean, plus you're dealing with millions now, which that's where I'm confused on is how the NIL got from like scholarships to pay for your college, which is money, to you're getting millions of dollars as an 18-year-old kid to go to Michigan, and you could be a hot pocket booby cheeks and still be a millionaire. Like I just think that's crooked. It's cool you can give this kid like an opportunity, but I think you should have to earn your NIL. I mean, I think, yeah, you can get on a scholarship and that's great, your college paid for, but once you go out there and start making a name for yourself, a name and an image and your like NIL says, I think that constitutes a better excuse to pay an 18 to 22-year-old kid. But I mean, everyone has their own opinions and whatnot. Like, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's interesting hearing from Chad because obviously he was about to go through that whole world. But for me, it's just like, okay, now that the players are getting money, now a school can limit how much money they can get.
Yeah.
Is there going to be unions to be formed with all this now? No. You don't think so?
No.
Why not all the NFLPA?
If the NFL commissioner doesn't do crap for anybody, I don't think the NCAA is going to do crap for anybody. There's no guidelines for anything anymore. It's just who has the most money is going to get the best players.
Basically. But I think sooner rather than later, the players are going to make a players union, a lot like NFL. So the NFL is a players union of basically categorized positions. So running backs have a players union where their agents and players kind of get together and say, here's what our market value is, and here's what we believe is fair for us. I think that should be adopted in the college football atmosphere. Where it's like, we're quarterbacks. I play at the D1 SEC level of play, and we put up these numbers. I'm in a part of the quarterbacks players union. We deserve $2.5 million per year in our contracts. And then it's like, okay, that's market value. And then if the brand and the budget gets larger, it expands over time. Just like how the salary cap in the NFL grows each year. And the salary cap in the NFL is going to get higher and higher and higher every year. And I say this all the time because it's like, y'all ever see those posts where it's like, he's the highest paid quarterback in the history, of all quarterbacks.
We've seen that like 10 times in the past couple months.
Exactly. And it's like, people don't understand. It's like, yeah, that's just like it's literally a post for clicks because they don't, like, if you understand how the market works, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. I mean, I covered it on the other podcast about like the betting. The betting atmosphere is a $7 billion profit they're just going to continue to make money. Now the NFL is promoting gambling and all that. Like, dude, I mean, it's going to get huge contracts.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, kind of the transition of INL to Nico,
Yeah,
the kid that leaves for Tennessee over to UCLA, you know, he was asking for $4 million. I'm pretty sure that's what Carson Beck's getting paid for at Miami.
Yeah.
That probably going to be a flop because he moved over there for his girlfriend and everything.
Yeah, I know.
So I think that's hilarious.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, now he goes to California. I think it's like 1.2. But dude, think about the taxes over there. So he's probably going to be half of that or more than half is going to be taken.
Yeah.
So he literally just took a gigantic pay cut because either his representatives or him, I don't know the full story, is literally just like, hey, we want more money. And I think it's great on Tennessee to be like, all right, cool. Well, if you don't want that, be gone.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other kids we know paying, you know, we our team because, like, literally, you know, they were a contender in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Like, that was a good team. And he's a young dude. He has a lot of potential. And he goes to UCLA where the Pac?
5-7,
The Pac
Big Ten.
Oh, the Big Ten now.
Yeah.
I still don't even remember all
I
that
mean,
stuff.
5-7 Big Ten, Eric Bieniemy, their offensive coordinator's fired. I mean,
Like, they're a building program, and so they're not going to be good for another year or two.
they haven't been good since Josh Rosen.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
I'm talking about a name drop.
You're going to talk about a kid that, like, falling off the big chair.
Start naming that.
Please don't do that. I literally was on a work trip, and I was leaving my phone going, like, what is happening? And I just see lists of baseball players. I'm like, who even is this guy?
It's freaking weak. Yeah, that was my best spool, bro. It's like, I gotta reach deep into the bag of tricks. I was like, MLB 11 the show, PSP. Whose batting stances did I like to create my players off? And I was like, Ricky Mother effing Weeks, brother. Like, I pulled his highlights. But yeah, back to NIL with Nico, like, did you look into it at all? Like, did you think it was interesting? You think it was a bad move? Because you've been kind of sending, like, the Tulane quarterback. You talked about it a little bit.
That guy does not know where to settle. Like, oh my gosh, the guy went to like Auburn. There was like 5 different schools.
Yeah.
It was 5 when he got to Tulane was his 5th college. Got there in like January, February, or whatever the transfer of this year. Just entered it. I didn't even play the season at Tulane.
Yeah.
And left. He's in the transfer portal now. Like, I don't get how you get, like, that's what it is. Like, our brother Austin, who when he was at Arkansas transferred to UNT, he had to sit out a year because he transferred. And so, and he lost, I think he lost, or no, he used that as a red shirt, or maybe?
I think so.
But,
I don't know how all that works.
But I think there's 2 exceptions. I think this is a rule that they should implement. It's if you can transfer with no repercussions. If your coach leaves or like retires, gets a better job somewhere else, gets fired, like that one, and then you get one freebie. I think you can. I think the transfer portal is great, and I think it should be taken advantage of, but not the way it's going right now.
It's being abused.
It is
I mean,
very
literally,
much abused.
I'm guarantee you, they're like you said, that's Tulane quarterback. He's like a little nomad. He doesn't even know where he wants to settle.
Right.
Just playing his feet down. You know,
Play some dirt. I
playing his feet down. Why couldn't finish?
Is his name Ty Thompson? Is that what we're talking about?
TJ Finley.
Oh, it's TJ.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
Name drop.
Yeah. Idiot.
I said why take offense, Jen. I'm hoping you remember this reference. Pointy. Pointy.
Tell me about that. Yes.
Yeah, it says well-traveled quarterback. Looks like Texas State, Auburn, LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky, Tulane suspended, and Tulane now. So
I was in church.
2020, here's a little breakdown, college career overview of TJ Finley. So in 2020, he started 5 games as a true freshman. He had about 1,000 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 5 picks. And then so we were like, maybe some potential, sure, whatever. Then he transfers to Auburn and played there from 2021 to 2022. played 9 games in 2021. He had a comeback win versus Georgia State. And then began the season that started in 2022, suffered a shoulder injury. He literally started with 1 touchdown and 4 picks. And then he went to Texas State. This is what I call stat inflation. They go down a conference and they start inflating their stats to basically make their, I don't know,
Make them look more.
make them look better, you know. And then, so at Texas State, he had 3,500 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, and 8 picks, and led the team to the first bowl win. Started 3 games at Western Kentucky, season-ending ankle injury, and then now he's at Tulane. Joined in December, suspended in April after he was arrested. So you're talking a guy
Nobody's
who's
picking him up.
5 years, never played a full season, and his stats are due. I mean, like, what is even the point of picking him up?
I mean, if you look at it in the corporate world, like people that are job hoppers, people are like, oh no, stay that away from me. So I would imagine it's gonna be the same thing with these coaches saying like, oh dude, this kid goes from school to school.
Yeah.
Like you can come here, but you're not gonna play. Like I'm not gonna pay you, I'm not gonna give you scholarship, like I'm not gonna give you nothing because there's no guarantee you're even gonna stay.
I feel like that's happened before. We've said that about somebody. I don't know exactly who we were talking about. That goes from school to school, and we're like, nobody's gonna pick this guy up, and then someone ends up picking him up, and we're like, how? Why? Like, what are you gonna do with him? Yeah. Or like an NFL guy, like, I'm gonna call it Georgia players getting arrested, doing 125 miles per hour on the highway, and getting in crashes and stuff like that, and they're showing team. I'll be honest. Like, I get 1 arrest. I get having fun and doing stupid crap and getting arrested and just enjoy college. You do that 2nd time and you're still on the football team, dude. Like, even if you get arrested, I'm like an NFL team to pick you up.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, ironically, when you get in trouble in the NFL, it's a double-sided coin, basically. It's like, I don't know. I mean, you've got the guys that have done some drastic things, but I mean, a lot of people in the NFL have committed like domestic abuse, sexual assault, a lot of speeding violations of traffic, I guess, with a motor vehicle.
I mean, I'm sure there's stuff that we don't even know about that they have done. The lack of accountability for a lot of these people transitioning from college into the NFL because they have all this money. But in all reality, I think there was a huge stat that like a lot of players, like isn't like 80% of the players that go in the NFL, don't they go broke within like a couple of years?
Yeah.
Because they don't have to manage their money.
That just goes off my thing. Like, you guys were talking about like a college union for like the NIL.
Yeah.
Like, NFL commissioner has all this money to do all these things to set up some sort of rule with all these arrests and all like everything that's going on, and like having it and like setting people up for success and having each team have some sort of finance team that somebody goes through for each player and tells them how to finance their money.
Right.
And he doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Get a retirement plan, get a 401k, do all that kind of stuff.
Find a beautiful wife with blonde hair.
Taking the kids to T-ball practice. You take all these things into account. But like when you're done with sport, you got some guys that are dealing with the CTE, and you got people that spend their money like buck wild when they get out, and then most of them go into some form of like sports media. Like Robert Griffin III, he's in sports media, but he got let go by ESPN. But then he has a career, and he's spending his money wisely. And then, I mean, think about, I don't know if you guys remember Justin Blackmon, the receiver from Oklahoma State that played like right after Des Bryant.
Yes.
And he came out and he was supposed to be the next Des Bryant. Got drafted by the Jaguars. Well, he got like arrested like not too long ago and took a mugshot of his picture. Bro, you wouldn't, if he popped out of the screen and said, "I'm Justin Blackmon," we'd be like, and just look at him like, what? Like, he looked nothing like, he just was completely changed, gained all this weight, and hope to God that he's doing okay. But it's like, dang, dude, there needs to be. Think of a system when you retire, whether you're a veteran in the military or a veteran in sports. They don't take care of them very well, and I think that's an issue that probably needs to, I guess, a Shedeur script reason to go in there and say we got find a solution to help these guys out.
Well, especially with all the CTE stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like Antonio Brown, like all his stuff that he's doing, like there's no way this dude doesn't have CTE.
Right.
Like he's
Or
doing
Gronk.
some Gronk is I feel like that's so much his I think it's Gronk. he's a character within himself.
Yeah.
But it's just like all the stuff that like Antonio Brown's doing, like walking off the field, taking off his pads, and all the stuff he's doing off the field. You're just like, dude, like, what are you doing?
He's big on X.
Is he really?
Oh my God, dude. He is like, I mean, he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. I think he was on Theo Vaughn's. I mean, he's been going on this like, and he spoke at a Trump rally. I remember in Pennsylvania. And you're like, what? That's 2025, 2024 I was like, man, we are really living quite a freaking planet. Like,
Yeah.
Listening to Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell talk about Trump at a rally, I was like, what are we doing? I know it's funny.
We're on a planet right now.
Yeah. Zoom out. Exactly. But yeah, I think the whole thing is, you know, whether it be NIL, whether it be retirement from the NFL, like there needs to be some protection. And you know, I'm all for letting the players make money how they see fit. You know, taking the sponsorships that they want to take, making the money to provide for their families outside of sport. You know,
Full-heartedly agree.
yeah, I think that stuff's totally fine, and they should have the freedom to choose where they get that money from. You know, of course, outside of gambling, but as far as like once they're done, you know, there's got to be something.
I mean, I think it's a cool story too. Like a lot of these kids that like come out of like places, like bad places, the first thing they do is buy their mom a house.
Yeah.
And I think like that's one of the most like heartwarming things. Like you know, like oh, this is a typical story. I'm like, well, that's a kid's first love is their mother.
Yes.
And the fact that they can do that for them is a huge step for them. And so, and to your point too, like the financial literacy is understanding like where's my money going, how am I spending my money, the accounting for you.
Yeah, financial literacy.
It's just knowing like how you spend your money. It's just like I mean there should be like there has to be a budget of some sort.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like if you're just throwing money at the window on these chains, nice cars, you're just like, well why?
Yeah.
And you're realistically like, you're not even a star player, buddy.
Right.
Like you're, you know, middle of the pack, maybe making $1 million a year, which is fantastic money, but for like what, 2-3 years, maybe?
Yeah.
Because the longevity of a lot of the NFL players are not that long.
Yeah.
I thought they have a draft for 267 players.
Well, look at Jordan Travis.
Just medically retired.
Had medically retired. You never know it's going to be your last time, you know, putting on the cleats. I mean, same thing for us.
He medically retired?
Yeah, like remember that gruesome injury he had or whatever. So his doctor said.
Because you're like, dude, like it's going to take you a lot longer than you think it's going to take you.
Yeah.
So they literally said he medically retire, and like all that money that he was about to make.
Yeah.
Like he could have been, if he was healthy, he would definitely would have been like a 2nd to 3rd round pick.
I agree.
But now he fell to the 5th round. They were hoping that maybe they can, you know, they said get to where he needed to be. But it's just like, dude, he's
Speaking of 5th round picks, Shedeur
Should not be in the NFL.
Yeah, what are y'all's takes on Shedeur and I guess Colorado itself? Because I'll tell you this, when I'm on X and I say anything about Colorado, it could be positive, it could just be a fair reality check, whatever you want to call it. I always get bombarded by the fan accounts, by bots. I mean, it's almost like it's almost like there's an algorithm that employs engagement for the Colorado Buffaloes. I've noticed it with like 2 or 3 different accounts. Like one would be Colorado, another one would be there's just other, like if I say something, it's like always just blowing up in my face. But I don't know. I think it's strange. I feel like the television ratings and like the emphasis on like showing Colorado is almost orchestrated. It's weird, but the Shedeur thing, I guess.
Well, we're talking about a fan base where the first year that Shedeur Sanders was quarterback and Deion Sanders was coach, the 3rd game of the year against Colorado State, where they barely won, the fans rushed the field.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Rush the field for what? an 0-2, I think 0-3 team.
That's like SFA getting Santa the first time in 11 years.
It's like, I understand they went from like an 0-12 season to finally like have like a 3-0 season like off the jump like that because they beat TCU the first game of the year, and they were like second place running in the national championship. Now they got belt to ass that game, but it's just like that's another topic. But it's just like the Colorado fan base, they can attack me if they want to. I'm not even on social media. I really don't care. That's just an unrenowned fan base because one, why they were hiring Shedeur Sanders is a jersey number. I understand Travis Hunter because, as far as my knowledge, I do not think that Colorado has a Heisman Trophy winner for that school. So I think it's probably in their best interest to do that with Travis Hunter because, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. Now he's a first-round draft pick. He was a two-way player. Like, the kid has electric about him that just, gravitates you towards him. Shedeur, I guarantee you, if you didn't have that last name, would we be talking about him?
I don't think so, man. I mean, you're talking about somebody that went like this. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, you're talking about a guy that went 13-12 in 2 years, and then he played defense, but he played SCS ball with Jackson State. You're talking about NFL prospect. I mean, what in FCS like quarterback isn't like a top prospect? So you're talking. I mean, Cam Ward, was that incarnate word, made his way up and built his way up. Shedeur did the same thing, but I don't know. Like, I don't think Shedeur was a bad quarterback. I think that I don't know. Like, I thought Dylan Gabriel had a much better career than Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion. I know he kind of bounced around place to place, but he balled out at Oregon. And I thought Will Howard had a better collegiate career than Shedeur Sanders. But then you look at, there's always like, I don't know, I would compare it to like a Dak Prescott, like truther, like myself sometimes is, sometimes you look at it and you got to protect him no matter what. No matter what happens, there's a reason that it's not his fault. And I think they do that with Shedeur a lot. It's, well, you didn't have a good offensive line. Well, you didn't have a run game. Well, that's Colorado. They built the program from the ground up and, blah, blah, blah. I said, bro, he had like Will Shepard. He had Travis Hunter that played both sides of the ball, a Heisman winner. He had his dad as a coach who's, if people renowned him as such an amazing coach, then what are we talking about? You're attracting talent. You guys went 4-8, doing all that chirping. Then you went 9-3, which was like fourth place in the Big 12. Everybody was 9-3 that year.
Yeah.
Which is good competition. And then you got your ass torn into by BYU in a bowl game. And so now you're looking, and they didn't make the champ either for their conference. So I'm just thinking, like, what are we talking about? There's no accolades that Shedeur has won anywhere. Like, and they're like, I win everywhere I go. It's like, you literally have a season on your resume that was 4-8. And this is going to be constituted as hating the guy, but in my opinion, it's just a reality check. I mean, we've all been in a room before that someone says you're not doing your job right, like, or you're not good enough to play on the team, or whatever. Like, shit, I was told I was cut from JUCO. And they said you weren't good enough. And I have to accept that. It's a reality check. I was like, yeah, you're right. I can't ball 420 feet. I can't do it. I can, they're like, yeah, you got a great glove and a great arm. We'd love you as a defensive replacement, but you can't hit. I'm like, you're right. I can't. That's a reality check. It's not hating. So that's what I dislike about evaluating players is if you say something bad, especially about Shedeur, I mean, it's all hell breaks loose. So. And additionally, I think all the focus on Shedeur slipping to the 5th round took all the praise away from Cam Ward, who went the same path as he did, and no one's talking about how he went number one overall and celebrated. Like, all this attention went to Shedeur.
Cam Ward was a different player when I played him.
Yeah.
He was, I mean, when I say, like, I don't know what he was when I played him in 2021. But that guy, like, we lost in overtime. And then now I faced a almost Heisman winner and the first pick for the 2025 NFL draft. It was like, that guy went a long way. But, like, just to go on the Deion Sanders thing, I think he's a good coach at the wrong level.
Yeah.
He did a fantastic job at
7-year-olds.
Jackson State. Like, I think like coaches like definitely accept that. Like, there's some coaches like, yeah, I'm not good at college. I'll just stay at high school. And then there's some coaches that are like, I'm not good at high school. I'm better in college than I am in high school.
Yeah.
And then there's coaches that even get more specific, like I'm better at FCS than FBS. And I think Deion Sanders is a great coach at Jackson. I think he's a great coach at Jackson State.
Yeah.
And then,
I don't think he's a bad coach.
no, I think he's just at the wrong level.
Yeah. I definitely don't think it's smart for him to go to the NFL. Which I think is what would scare teams. That's a report that came out saying, like, they were afraid that if they drafted Shedeur and it didn't work out, then that head coach would be out and then Deion would be in. So it's just like, well, I'm risking my job because there's this massive influence from Deion and his family. And that was what I said very early on, was Shedeur's never played without his dad. And what we call that a helicopter parent. So I'm like, you're talking about an NFL team with daddy ball. Imagine, I mean, we hated it as kids. We're like, this is daddy ball. Of course, the son's going to play shortstop and pitch and do all this kind of stuff. And I remember, like, Ryan has a story where the coach's son played shortstop and pitch, and he was getting just blown up in this, like, while he was pitching. And I think Ryan made a comment, like, we should pull him or something like that, like in a meeting. And bro, he got ripped into by the dad and the uncle, like after the game, like pulled to the side, screaming at my brother. And it kind of turned into this whole thing, but it's daddy ball. You get emotion involved. So how dare you? My son can do no wrong. I wouldn't be able to function in that setting for like an NFL team. I wouldn't be able to stand it. I don't think it's a functional thing.
Well, it'll be interesting, especially with the Nussmeier situation at LSU.
Oh, Doug Nussmeier?
Yeah, and his dad's offensive coordinator at New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. Wasn't I think Doug Nussmeier was the quarterback's coach for Dallas for a couple of years. That's when Dak had like his best years, I think.
RIP.
Now we got, I don't know who it is. It was John Kitna, I think, for some time, and then it was Nussmeier. But, oh yeah, so I guess that's a little transition topic too. Unless, do you have anything else you wanted to say about it? Unless Shedeur?
Not really, no. Just more just kind of like, hey, sorry Clayton went down to the 5th round, but in reality, I love Jackson Dart way more.
I wouldn't have picked, I would maybe send him out to a mini camp. I wouldn't have drafted Shedeur.
Well, also, I feel like him not participating, I mean, granted, Cam Ward didn't participate either, but Shedeur, I feel like him not really being that great, and still thinking like, oh, I'm not participating in the NFL Combine, just kind of like, dude, like, what are we doing?
Dude, a lot of people aren't doing the combine anymore. It's wild.
I know quarterbacks usually don't, but like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why. Like that is a tremendous privilege to do.
Yeah.
Go to the NFL.
Colin Kaepernick said otherwise.
All right.
I was going to make that joke. I was saving, I was like, I'm going to do this. I think Colin Kaepernick scared away. They size them up and they do all this different stuff, to play them. I'm like, oh.
Sorry, I don't remember slaves making $2.7 million. I couldn't got my history wrong.
If I'm making 2.7 mils and slaves sign me up.
Sign me up.
Yeah. I'll call you whatever name you want. I mean, oh,
Anyway, new tradition, huh?
yeah, that's probably, yeah.
You're talking about
Where was I transitioning to, though?
We're talking about Doug Nussmeier.
Yeah, Doug Nussmeier.
And,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, you're still a Cowboys fan.
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, too. You made the switch, didn't you?
I did.
You made the switch to, which I think was a good switch, if I had, and I talked about this on one of my previous shows, so I think people are going to start jumping ship because obviously Jerry isn't serious about winning.
No.
And then you actually did it. And I was like, no way. Your stress is gone.
Yes.
And now you're a Lions fan, right?
Yeah, it makes it seem like I'm a bandwagon, but I did it when they had a mid-season.
Yeah.
I was like, I just love Coach Campbell.
Yeah.
He's the most like 19 like old-fashioned coach, and apparently everybody loves him. And then we have a family friend. His son plays for the Lions.
Yeah.
Rock Wright.
Rock right, baby.
Yeah.
Friend of mine too. Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh, sorry for Lions. It's like, I'll be a Lions fan.
That's what I would say if I had to switch teams, and it's only because I love this quarterback with all my heart, is Josh Allen. Like,
That's a good pick.
I would be a Bills
Yeah.
guy. I mean, because they haven't really won anything.
And I don't think that's a bandwagon move, really.
It's tough because what are you gonna do? You're gonna go pick the Jaguars if you're gonna switch team? I think that's
Their fans,
I think it's-
their fans wouldn't even show up to their own stadium for the Jacksonville Jaguars anymore.
They're like the Oakland A's
Yeah.
of football.
The Panthers.
Nobody shows up anymore.
exactly. The Panthers, I think, are like it's a $2 ticket or something like that.
Okay, but that's because one, they suck, and they also the fan base also really hate their owner of.
Yeah, that dude's a scumbag.
Is he Harry Jones' brother?
If I would jump ship, dude, I don't know why. I'm so like into Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
I love Baker.
Shout out Grant.
I don't know. There's just something about like, in college he had so much more swagger, but like when he went through that transition of this like going through the Panthers and then going to the Rams and like had like this whole spur of this like you saw how he really wanted to be involved with the team. He would literally like hand off the ball, see his offensive line go like get knocked down, you go and pick them back up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come on, let's get after it, bud. It's just like he had a humble moment to realize that hey, I need to like really like make sure I do good in this league. And now he found a home in Tampa Bay.
Is that like in the NFL? Is that where you fell in love with Baker Mayfield, or was it before that?
It was definitely.
It's like in college.
I did like in college.
It little Kansas, Oklahoma game.
Oh my gosh.
When he went to shake their hands and he was like, he starts clapping. And he just goes and demolishes them.
Dude, I still. We still talk about it because I have a buddy in my. His name Buddy. He's my senior, and we talk about majority of the time the Oklahoma and Texas Tech game, Patrick Mahomes versus Baker Mayfield. How literally,
I forgot about
Talk about
that.
fireworks.
dude, literally, we were talking about Patrick Mahomes putting the whole entire team on his back and making sure that they come out of there at least looking like a good team is hilarious.
It's like the Texas Tech versus Texas game. Josh Crabtree and
Josh Crabtree, Michael Crabtree.
or yeah, that's something. Why is it Josh?
I don't know.
Michael Crabtree.
I don't remember being at like Cade Murkus' house, and we were
we at Cade Murkus' house?
we were in the backyard on the trampoline, and literally I heard Dad and all of them. We were like, yeah, oh.
Crabtree was legit.
Oh, yeah.
Graham Harrell putting on the ball too.
Oh, dude, that was an electric time. That was a big.
Grant Harrell was the quarterback?
Yeah, Graham Harrell was pretty sure, man. Graham Harrell and Crabtree.
What in the F? I did not know that.
That's a funny correlation because
It is. That was Austin's
and it was old offensive coordinator.
nice quarterback skill.
To go back to
Was
what
he offensive coordinator?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty positive. I thought he was offensive coordinator and East Coast. I'm pretty positive. Then he goes to West Virginia right after that.
Virginia.
Virginia.
Virginia. Is that USC? With Lincoln Road? I have no idea.
Oh.
I think he was at West Virginia just recently though.
Maybe he took a job at West Virginia.
I don't remember. People.
I don't know.
It's like you get a job. You get a job.
There's a lot of
The
movement.
only thing it's just be like Graham Harrell is like high praised by everybody. He's
Yeah.
like a fantastic quarterbacks coach.
Yeah. Great development.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, you mentioned the Texas Tech and Oklahoma game. The stat line for the quarterbacks was berserk. So Baker Mayfield went 27 of 36, 545 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, this is crazier. Patrick Mahomes went 52 of 88,
Did the ball
88 times, 734 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He had more yards passing than 2 seasons of TJ Finley.
What was
in one game.
What was the rushing yards?
I don't know. Maybe it might have it in here.
You must have a terrible run game. You're throwing it 88 times. What we said? 88.
Yeah, something like that.
Your offensive line must be great at passing. Because they can run forward. They can't move forward.
Oh my god, that is a wacky. What a fun game.
Dude, I don't even play catch throwing the ball 88 times.
Dude, yeah. Patrick Mahomes had 85 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns rushing as well. So he had 7 total touchdowns.
Running back.
I mean, I don't even think. You know how like Hunter would play like we used to in our dynasty or whatever on college football when he used Texas Tech, he just wouldn't run the ball.
You just pass it.
He would throw it like you had like 11 touchdowns or whatever, just throw it, no rushing attempts at all. That's what this game was. I was like, dude, they play like you are.
Oh, wow, it's really good.
Yeah, it's like it really is the kid. But yeah, I think that one one of my I guess to go back to Baker Mayfield, I remember specifically when he was at the Browns, I always was like, because they used to compare him to Dak, and I was like a huge Dak truther and whatnot. I still kind of am, protect him a little bit, I guess. But I was always yeah, it was always a competition where I was like, well, Baker's not that good, blah blah blah, he's limited. But then he kind of revived himself. But I think the moment his career got revived was when he went to the Rams, and he was playing under Sean McVay. And they were horrible this year. I think he popped in for a Monday night game or a Thursday night game, and he threw a game-winning touchdown with 10 seconds left. And he was, dude, I was standing up let's fucking go, Baker Mayfield, baby. And I'm like, why am I so hyped for Baker? I've never been like this. Then he got to Tampa Bay, started slinging it around. Then he's got that energy where he gets pushed out of bounds, comes right back out, first down in your face kind of thing. I'm like, dude. Love this guy. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Kate Auden, Jalen McMillan, and all these different guys. Bucky Irving now for the Bucks, well deserved. He's probably the top 12 quarterback now. Kind of, it's always debatable, but he's floating in that 10 to 12 range now, which is awesome for Baker.
Oh, I agree.
I love watching
Bucky.
all records.
No, for me, I also kind of go back to the Dallas Cowboys and why I'm still saying, unfortunately, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Is because of all the moves that they could have made in the offseason. Literally everybody and their mother was making moves in the offseason.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys were just like, okay, I'm going to take a vacation.
Yeah.
And just, sit on my yacht, drink a pina colada, and just.
Jerry Jones is just he did great, with the Troy Aikman era and all that, and then I feel like now that he's knows his health is declining, he's I'm just gonna enjoy it, but also screw everybody over.
Okay, so here's the thing with it is that the Cowboys are one of the most profitable teams in the entire world. So in a business aspect, you got to tip your hat to Jerry. Because he knows how to run a business.
Right.
Clearly. There's sales. Every single day, ESPN is talking about the Cowboys. Almost every single day.
You know, there's nothing to talk about. You can find a story about that.
Oh, for sure. It could be the most random thing about the offensive coordinator. Why are we talking about an offensive coordinator?
Right.
Not the head coach? Who knows?
Yeah.
Jerry Jones on Landman.
Exactly. And he killed that scene.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna lie.
As a local
Regular spring chicken.
Yeah. No, I'm short of spring chicken.
You make short of spring chicken.
Yeah, he did nail that scene. I was like, dang.
But long story short, it's just really as a general manager, he needs to be separate from that. But unfortunately, we are fans of a family business.
Yep.
Guess where that's going to go as soon as Jerry either retires, hits the can, whatever. Let's go to his son.
Yeah, Catboy.
Yeah, and is he going to be any better? Bro, I don't freaking know.
That's what we call salary Catboy.
Oh.
He's always trying to be under the cap and
Yeah.
spends on anything. Yeah.
Well,
We don't can't cap better than anybody. Really? I'm sitting on my couch.
I can make sale on oil and gas industry.
You're buying land, and oh, gas field over there in Midland. You're like, oh. Football, winning games.
Yeah, but that's just someone's going through it. I'm not doing it that bad, but I have literally no expectations this year. It also is very nice, but at the same time, it's just like I was like thinking to myself, like, am I even gonna watch a game this year?
Yeah.
Like realistically, am I just gonna literally just be the most casual of football fans and know the freaking man to watch it?
You are not casual. We will be watching college football every freaking weekend.
That's right.
I'm not talking about casual as in that standpoint. As soon as 11 a.m. starts, I am up drinking the coffee, still drinking faster than Jared.
Except for you.
You got that 2 hours ago.
Yeah, dude, I was definitely scared drinking this morning. It'd be an emergency, so drink a little bit, like half, and then be good. Bowel movements and stuff, but yeah, with the Cowboys and stuff, I'm the same way. Like, I got no expectations anymore, and I still love to evaluate the team because, I mean, I feel like I know the team like the back of my hand. I understand what they're going to do for the most part. When it comes to the draft, you never know. They shock me every year. I think they've taken an offensive lineman like 3 or 4 years in a row, and they're pretty good at drafting offensive linemen. But you talked about like the off season and whatnot. Like we got Javonte Williams, kind of a has been from the Denver Broncos, was supposed to be good. I don't know what's in store for him. You got Miles Sanders, who's basically been like a name on the piece of paper on the roster sheet for the Carolina Panthers. Hasn't done anything. Used to go to the Eagles behind the line, maybe. And you're like, that's what you got to replace, Tony Pollard. Rico Dowdle had a good season, and then you lost Zach Martin, so I guess you drafted a replacement there. Dak, the one move I did like, they traded for Joe Milton, but like, there's no moves that they made. Yes, they got some linebackers. Yes, they traded around for some certain pieces of the puzzle, but they haven't addressed the elephant in the room is a wide receiver, and it makes no sense. Like Matthew Golden, y'all's boy, Texas guy, is just staring right in the face, and you just skip over him. However, I don't know if you guys saw when Matthew Golden got picked by the Packers, which is where the draft was. That was one of the coolest draft moments. Go look it up and act like I'll play it or something like this. It was such a cool moment. But just was like they did no rounds. They got some undrafted free agents for receivers, but didn't address it. So they're going to go out there. Dak's going to throw a lot of tight window passes, and I'm rambling. You got me rambling.
That's what we're here for.
You got me rambling, guys. I mean, sure, for 500. Yeah. So, but I was going to bring this up because I thought it was hilarious. But doesn't he look like Andrew Luck?
Now you start like getting on Twitter and start writing. My dear.
Yeah, look at the camera. That's Andrew Luck, folks. We got Andrew Luck from Stanford. All right, good. All right, let's do that. Give us a hard count. Give us a hard count.
Oh God.
I'm gonna do it after. So. All right.
Absolutely.
I used to love, I love cadences. Cadences with like Aaron Rodgers. Always copied Tony Romo's. He said, "Why did you?" Girl, that's what it sounded like on the screen. He'd go, "Why did?" But
I miss those days.
yeah, Romo was a stud. I think Dak's still one, but
I agree.
I think Romo has struck the set.
Romo was definitely the only thing I could think of was like John Party song going on. It was like bartender.
Yeah,
And then it's got like Tony Romo highlights.
Party on the, what is it?
Hardly medication.
Party medication. Yeah.
Here I am.
Yeah, they did this thing when it's on a great spiral. Yeah. It's like reminiscing on OGs and stuff. Like,
Dude, I've seen so many of those.
yeah.
I just recently watched one with the 2016 Alabama defense. How that dominant they were that year. Literally, they just kicked the town on everybody. And how they beat like the crap out of Clemson. And I think it was either the semifinals or the national championship. And literally a clip of Deshaun Watson like spinning, trying to go for the first down.
Oh,
Because they were hitting him so hard.
when he like leaped or whatever and got like hit so hard, he like spun.
Oh,
yeah. I remember that. Knocked him straight back into the massage room.
Yeah. Okay, well, why did the Browns misconduct?
Yeah.
Well, now I see why the Browns got 2 quarterbacks in that draft. They got Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur.
They had 5 quarterbacks in the roster.
Yeah,
It
have
shows that one's going to get cut. And I think Sean Watson's going to go.
I can't remember. I think it's Joe Flacco,
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett, it's Dylan Gabriel, it's Shedeur, and there's one more.
Deshaun Watson.
Well, yeah, Sean Watson. There you go.
So,
Have fun.
I think
They signed me the other day. I was like,
what?
I think they cut.
A day
I think they cut Joe. I think they cut Joe or Kenny.
Yep.
One or the other. Trade Deshaun Watson. There's so many outcomes you can go with this. But,
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think they cut one of those 2 and trade Deshaun Watson
if he has a trade clause.
if he does.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
Well, I mean, like, regardless, they're screwed with the salary cap from how much they pay them.
Yeah.
Well, now they're paying Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Hold back for a ton of money. Like, I don't think it's dumb. If he like hands it down to what's what he's saying.
So what if he retires tomorrow?
I think if Myles Garrett retires, he should become a paleontologist with like dinosaurs and stuff, like like Ross from Friends, because he loves dinosaurs, and he does.
I know you're fucking serious, but like, he's like so tired of like Ross and Friends.
Not the paleontologist.
That's my sister.
Me and Hunter's favorite clip is like where he's with Jennifer Aniston, Rachel, and he's talking to this one girl, and they're getting like formula and stuff for their baby and whatnot. She's like, "Oh my god!" Like she starts flirting with the cashier. She's like, "Oh my god, you're like a so you like work out and you like dinosaurs? God, you're like Indiana Jones." And he's like, "Like, yeah, you work out." He's like, "Yeah, you look like."
I'd definitely see
I love this comeback with Rachel. He was like looking at a ring or something, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, this ring is so beautiful." And Rachel was like, "Yeah," or something like, "Yeah, you would know. You gave him out." And he goes, "Yeah, but I didn't give one to you."
It's like, good luck falling asleep tonight without me next to you. Oh, you thought about falling asleep? I still have your letter!
When he's funny, laugh.
You got funny,
Yeah.
Sweetheart, if he's funny.
All right, I say we cover one last topic and we can wrap this puppy up. But
Okay.
we got to talk about A&M and Texas. The rivalry came back. We got together. We got the notorious picture of me looking all completely bummed out.
And we're both saying now, too.
Exactly, yeah. We'll clip this and just like have me just like dead there. I got like 3 beers.
You got one on the ground, and like one in your hand like this.
You just said ultimate disappointment that you did not score a single touchdown.
That second half sucked.
But that's the overall consensus of it, in my opinion, is that we were so excited for just like a good game, and it just wasn't.
It was awful.
Like both sides, I thought it
I mean, it was still an electric game to like watch because of the atmosphere and the history behind it.
Yeah.
But in the aspect of like watching the game, such a low scoring game, granted the defense on both sides of the ball played phenomenal.
Yeah.
But also granted, both offenses also really sucked.
What if they brought down I'm going side. Queen versus NFL star.
That game?
Yeah.
Or room. You should have.
Yeah, don't go south.
You got every single light in there.
What was his room? What?
You didn't see that?
That seemed like a room like dude, Quakers and
He's got like a fox around his like right behind his shoulder. He's got like a moose, a buffalo, like a donkey. There's a donkey there for all I know.
Punching lips in the same shit.
I mean, dude, they're touching tips of their antlers.
It was like you couldn't see right on this wall. That's how many mounts they had on the freaking wall. And it was like exotic, and then the mess.
It was hilarious. Everybody
It was so
funny.
Yeah, it was like that first thing I saw was like telling me you lived in South Lake without telling me you lived in South Lake.
Oh no, dude, that I was like, the place is loaded with money.
Oh my gosh. There's like millionaires that go there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think this upcoming season's going to be interesting because
It's at Texas, right?
yeah, it's going to be in Austin.
Oh,
And you guys obviously are going to have the Golden Boy Arch Manning coming into there, which I like your takes with Texas. You know, we're always talking about it, but what I like about our relationship with college football and being Aggies and Longhorn guys is like we're not hateful. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like a super biased A&M guy.
For sure.
Or I'm going to tell you, we don't do like that little brother, big brother type stuff that like most every fan does, like your casual fans do. We actually talk about analysis, go into it. And then your thoughts, both of y'all's on like Texas is very grounded. It's very like, it's not like your little brother or anything like that. So it's fun to talk college football about it because we're not assholes to each other.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, literally, it's funny because I'm really dating an A&M girl, so obviously those games are be very.
and I'm dating in Texas.
Yeah, we're working this. It's like noggin, but I mean, when we went to the Texas Ohio State game for the Cotton Bowl, right? Or was it? It was. I know it was like AT&T.
It was.
I don't remember what the actual bowl was. It's probably the all.
It was a semifinal.
It was a semifinal game. Literally, when Arch went in for like the couple of plays that he went in for Ohio State, the electricity that you felt from the Texas fans was like dialed up a couple notches. Like he already had swagger and that hype along with him. Now, granted, it's his name, like definitely a big factor. That's kind of like how it is with Shedeur Sanders. I can freaking
Right, family.
But like, now, granted, when we say all this stuff about Shedeur Sanders and Arch Manning and all of these players, like we hope they prove us wrong.
Yes.
Like, let's make that very, very, very.
I hope, like, I hate the way that, like Shedeur was showing off all that Louis Vuitton crap and, like, money in it or whatever.
Or was Cybertruck.
Yeah, it was Cybertruck. Like, I hated it, but I hope he goes out there and just proves me the F wrong.
Yeah. I mean,
like, I'm not looking to degrade somebody and hope he stays degraded.
I mean, dude, I am a town. I'm talking to him like.
Right.
Basically, I want his life.
I'm still in school.
So realistically, we're just some bum ass people.
Yeah,
We're casual. No, but I think this upcoming year, like what you were talking about, I talked about, I thought Quinn Ewers brought Texas back. I don't think it was Sam Ellinger. I thought Quinn Ewers.
Definitely not Sam.
Yeah, that one was
When
just
Sam
like,
said that, I don't want to go kick him in the
Yeah,
nuts.
but we're.
If they were back and go like 7-8-4.
yeah, exactly. Like, I've always hated that, like, we're back sort of thing. It's like, if you're good, you're good. And you don't have to say it. And I don't think Quinn Ewers ever said it. He just, like, kind of showed up. They were making all these college football playoff appearances. If you're constantly in the talks for the national championship, I would constitute that as bad. I don't think you have to. It'd be great if you excel if you won the national championship, but
I think if there was a time, it would definitely be now with all the NIL stuff because there's no prohibits or
Prohibitions.
Thank you, Lord have mercy in my soul.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was that one.
Tom's
Take a sip of my water.
Finally, we got you to say on the line.
He steals a lot of my jokes too. There's like 4 instances where he steals my joke. I'm literally watching the bottom like.
We're gonna have to start charging him.
It's like a swear jar. It's like 5 cents.
I'll just play your video.
Copyright. It's like every time I make a joke, I edit the video afterwards. It said copyright Turner.
We'll take a break from this sponsor. Here, it's Turner Aune.
All rights observed. Every time I say a joke from you, I just like pop a picture up over the entire camera, and it's just like your profile picture.
Man, you need to get a picture of Turner and his accountant thing, just get him in the office like this. And then every time you reference a joke or something about him, you clip it up.
When I know I popped it, it's like a little corner, it's like.
Use that sound.
I need to do that.
I can use the sound effect on this little board here.
Well, it's funny, like, really, you'll say my joke, and I'll see, like, Ryan and your cousin line, I'm sitting just like,
The more playing games, like, I said that.
dude, I literally said those things.
Oh yeah, I knew he was gonna kill him on the show. I was like,
Anyway, back to, like, our standing. I think with this year at Texas, this is, like, the upcoming years to do it. Because we have the hype, we also have the money. There's no other prohibitions with NIL just yet. I think that probably is coming. So, I mean, Texas can literally hand money just right and freaking left to all the players they wanted it to be. And so, with everything that's going on, especially with the transition over to the SEC, which, by the way, disclaimer, is the best conference out of all the conference. I don't care about bowl games. I don't care about bowl like the bowl records happened last year. None of that. It is by far the best conference.
I'm a big Pac-12 guy.
Tupac?
that's if you want to create a dynasty, whatever on the video game, that's the perfect conference to do it in.
Yeah, because you really know what to do. Oregon State, Washington State, that is literally it.
That's it.
Yeah, you can put other BS teams on there too.
And I still lose to them.
But we don't talk about that anyway. I'm still like get fired.
Yeah, we're still on the debate of whether they'd be about to get us.
Yeah, that's the reason why I haven't played it in a long time. But
Arcane not going on the freaking cover.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think he hasn't played a freaking full game, like full season.
I think
Probably got this next one.
with all the stuff that's going on with Savage, I think they're trying to teach him humility with a lot of this stuff, which I think is good. Like
Something you ever got.
Continue with that, and I'll say
it's just like with him not wanting to be on the cover. It's just like he realizes too that like, hey, I haven't proved anything yet. Why do I want to be on the cover? Because if I'm on the cover and I don't prove anything, that feels like I'm just a joke of a freaking dude. So with this year coming up, I'm personally excited. I'm looking forward to the game, especially the Texas A&M game. With it being in Austin, I'm sorry, Beer. I think he'll still lose.
I would have to say.
I would imagine Marcel Reed's still a quarterback. So, I mean, I still think he had immense more potential than the other dude did. I forget his name because he was.
Connor Wagner.
Yeah.
He's over at U of H. Stat inflation career that's coming.
So, realistically, I still think A&M has a very, very good coach with them going, 9-3 in the SEC, like 9-3. I forgot the record in the SEC. I think they only had 2 months in the SEC.
I think we were 6 and no. I think we went 5-3. We were 8-4, and we lost to Auburn, and we lost to Texas, and we lost to South Carolina. So
yeah, I mean, we were in contention to be already in contention to the SEC championship after the first year. Like that's something to hang your hat on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I think there's a bright future. There's good recruits coming. So I think the rivalry is back. There's no 2 cents around it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be electric to watch this year.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because Marcel Reed, young cat, right? A lot like Nico, kind of the same, like redshirted and then started his freshman. I guess he's a redshirt sophomore this past year.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he has a much higher ceiling. I've been saying I think he's going to be very similar, not as good, but very similar to Jaden Daniels. But, I mean, he was tipping his passes, against Texas, and nobody said it. As a coach, that's an easy spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, I'm dumbfounded that A&M wasn't just like, hey, by the way, when your foot are flat, when your feet are like flat and even, they know you're running the ball, and then when they're angled, they know you're passing the ball. I would have been like, hey, you're tipping them. Like, that just seemed like an easy spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why it went really downhill for Marcel Reed after that LSU game because they kind of knew what was coming. But in terms of the talent on A&M's roster versus like the talent on Texas's roster, I think Sarkisian has established himself better than Elko has so far. Because, Elko needs some time to cook and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But Sarkisian's already kind of planted his flag. The budget's there. They're going to get a lot of athletes.
Oh, for sure.
So I think this year is going to be very similar to last year. Arch is probably going to play really well. He's going to get home field advantage. But I think it's going to be more of like a high-scoring game. And I can see you guys doubling up on us like when last year with this
Should we
year.
do score predictions right now?
Way too early predictions.
Way too early predictions.
Way too early predictions. Texas versus Texas A&M, close to Thanksgiving.
We lose to Ohio State because that's our first game of the year. So that's gonna be rough. I definitely agree.
I take Texas over.
Over Ohio State.
Yeah. I think they do.
Well, yeah, who are they replacing Will Howard with? I can't remember.
Oh,
I mean, Smith's gone.
go fish.
What's the guy's Ubebeck or
Uber Bagley?
yeah? No, not DJ.
By the way.
Yeah, I know.
That's nuts.
Undrafted. He's an undrafted free agent.
Oh, it's a BDA. Okay.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
it's all set up right.
That's nuts.
Anyway.
Why they take a chance on this?
I have no respect. But, I mean, it's just like, I don't know.
Some crappy team.
Yeah.
Other than drafted.
Anyway, long story short. Wait for early predictions. I think 31-14. Texas will fix that.
30
And now we're bullpen.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like
Because I feel. Actually, I'm not going to say that'd be really bad. I was going to say that Marcel Reed, for some reason, gets hurt mid-game.
that. Oh.
Has an ankle injury of some sort. Because he's a runner. He's a runner. He's a track star.
He's a track star. All right, so 31-14. Wait for the predictions. What do you get? 5 seconds.
I think I got 35-24 Texas.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at. So I was going to say like 27-20,
Yeah.
Texas. I think it's going to come down to like A&M has the ball last minute, touchdown score, and we probably get goal line stopped like we did this past season. But I think those, like, we're still like in that element where Texas and Texas A&M, when they play each other, is very low scoring. Like, defensive battle. I've been seeing it in other, basketball and baseball too. Like Texas just swept A&M. They got sloshed from us, but we lost by 1 run every game. So it's going to be tight, and it's going to be rowdy in pretty much every sport. So 31-14, 35-24, Texas. I've got 27-20, Texas.
Wow, even you got an A&M boy even saying.
I don't think we're ready. I think going into Austin is what's flipping me.
I think if it was at College Station,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like low-key thinking like maybe A&M can come on top like
I should have been last year.
yeah, honestly. But again, Reed didn't have much experience, I think. And I think that going to Austin with just a bit more experience won't help. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
But if it was at College Station, I think A&M comes out on top by a couple points.
I think Marcel Reed takes over, like, he can take over a game like you saw at LSU. I think if he can do that, he can be unpredictable.
It all relies on quarterback play, in my personal
Yeah.
opinion. It's not about. Granted, I can be wrong with the seeking probably for starters is way too early, but like it all based on how last year went, it's all based on quarterback play. Because realistically, I like putting yours. He took us far. Like he won games, and I can't really hate on that. But I hated his throwing motion. I hated it. He dropped his arm all the time, and it still comes out of his smile. And like that's why I like Jack Gar so much. Because I think he has a beautiful throwing motion.
Yeah.
It's just watching that and seeing him just like chunk the ball downfield. I'm like, what? Like, I don't know if that was like play design. But I'm like, dude, there's got to be some kind of concept because why are we throwing the ball deep downfield, 3rd and 3, and like just go for a short play, get a first down, and then we start chunking the ball downfield.
I've always thought when I watched 20 years, he was kind of softballing everything.
I agree.
It wasn't just putting the zip on it. Yeah.
I played in high school, but I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he knows.
Like Arch is going to put some zip on it. He's probably going to make some second level throws like high
And he can scramble too. I think that's
Someone
gonna
like
be a
touch
big.
passes.
I think that's gonna be a big thing too. Is that they're gonna have to like watch him scramble and get the first down. So they're gonna have to probably play a spy on him
They're
too.
going to smart scrambler too.
Yeah.
He's not going to be somebody that just panics.
Oh no,
I think that's Marcel's.
yeah, I think so too. Because he relied so much on his legs, he didn't trust his arm.
Yeah.
But granted, he was young. So now with more experience coming on the play, like it's gonna be great year.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're already talking about football.
Yeah. Well, maybe the
For May.
the challenge script will come back again for season 2 because you were most watched for the challenge script.
I'm just putting that out there. Like Wacky Inflatable 2, man.
Yeah. It was it.
It was it.
And then we had a really good game.
We did.
Yeah.
That was, and then I had that block field goal.
Yeah.
I don't know how I kept doing that.
Dude,
Like, I'm sitting there just flying in, like, I just block field goals.
You did it often. It was like the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, how is Chad the only one doing it versus, everybody else who has way more experience?
I think I got to do it again. I think I got to
It was
You and others are great
Yeah.
senators.
and this time finish out the season. And I think it was fun to do because we had some repeat guests and whatnot. And you can't put anyone on there,
Yeah.
But we had the game that was never told.
Oh my gosh, dude, that is the most. Oh, that story. When y'all told me about that, I was like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
yeah.
Dude.
It was the greatest game never told.
I know.
And
I even got a text at work saying, hey, the game we just had, the audio is all messed up. Oh, it was like, I think it was on my end or something like that.
yeah, it was both of us.
So it was both of us.
Yeah,
I was so defeated. 'Cause I was literally
I tried everything.
dude, I know. I was literally like, dude, like, I played my ass off because I don't really play that game often. And so being able to compete and play the way I did and how we ended it off with me kicking, I'm pretty sure I kicked an onside.
Yeah,
See if I can make things interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think I had the lead. And I wanted
I
to
think you got it, but I think it was
I think I literally scored, and I had to kick an onside in order to like maybe get the ball again to kick a field goal or tie it or something like that.
yeah.
And I missed it barely, but I still had time left. I needed to come back, or Jared made a comeback. I don't know what it was, but it was a fantastic game.
It was back and forth.
I think it was.
It was 37-34, I believe.
That breaks my
And
heart.
I want to say you were doing a Hail Mary.
At the end of it,
I think you were on offense doing a Hail Mary. And I think you tried offensive, I think, an onside kick earlier in the game. But I'm telling you, we were like, wow, this is the best one we've done.
oh for sure. After watching it, I was like, "This is the best one." And all of a sudden, he's like, "Hey,
We all both were probably the most entertaining guests that we had because, I guess we had really good chemistry on the mic,
oh for sure."
So we've seen it today.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we talked for what? How long?
I don't know. But I guess this is the end. So, okay. Dude, this was so much fun. I guess I don't even like that. I was like thinking to myself, like, oh, how do I even end it? But
You were so excited too.
I know, dude. I'm
in the mirror. Sing again,
I was twerking. I was so excited. But I'm gonna twerk out this too. But dude, I seriously appreciate you guys coming on. I think this is so much fun. I definitely think we should do this again.
I agree.
I think it'd be really cool if, like, let's say it came up to like the range at one point.
Just about to say
And
that.
outside, like the fire, kind of be like an outside pod. That would be sick.
I'm drinking a beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
So-
You can do it right before the Texas.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be probably schedule something like that. But
the date.
yeah, I think this is gonna be a lot of people are gonna enjoy this. But seriously, thank you guys for joining. Really appreciate it. Great friends. So sit us off with a good word. Exactly. All right. Shedeur Scripts. You can see us on all platforms. I appreciate you guys coming out, and we'll be back with some more guest interviews throughout the summer. And yes, sir. That's about it. So awesome.
And
And see.